Hi, folks. This past Sunday, we honored all of the volunteers that are in our church, and this is the greatest church for volunteers. And I'm so thankful for all of the volunteers that we have in our services and in everything that we do in our church. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Ephesians 5 and to bring to your attention verses 16 and 17, which talks about redeeming the time. And it says here in verse 16 of the fifth chapter of Ephesians, making the most of every opportunity because the days are evil. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the Lord's will is. And, you know, God's will for our lives is that we be involved in volunteering and helping the pastor, helping the music director. We talked last night in choir practice about really everybody in the choir is volunteer, because when you think about it, it's a volunteer choir. And we have one of the best choirs in the world, one of the best choir directors I've ever seen, Pastor Dave Toom. And so I'm so thankful for Dave. Anyway, you know, volunteering is a part of what God's plan is, but you got to have the right attitude in order to volunteer. Just doing something is not really volunteering the way God wants us to do, what His will is, and knowing His will is to have the right attitude. So here's what I'm going to encourage you about. I have things that I want to encourage you for. It is my attitude that influences others more than my actions, and actions follow attitudes. So it's your attitude that you have about something that you're doing, and you know, that's one of the things that people that have come to our church, who have come there from other churches and stuff. They say, you know what? As soon as I step into that services and people greet me and they smile at me and they greet me, you know, there's some churches they don't even greet you at all. You come in, they don't care. They just, you're here, whatever, you know. But not here, not at Bellevue Heights. We greet them, man. We love them. We're glad that they're there. And so I'm thankful for that. My attitude is either my best friend or my worst enemy. Your attitude can be so good or it can be so bad. Let's think about a couple Bible characters. Joseph in the slave quarters, he had a great attitude. Joseph, and whenever he was with Potiphar's wife, you know, I mean, he was caught in sin. Well, he didn't do anything wrong. He was just accused of being involved with Potiphar's wife, and he didn't do one thing wrong. Well, he had a good attitude about it, and he said, well, I don't care, send me back to prison then. I'll just keep a good attitude. He kept praying, he kept believing that God would help him. Now, on the other hand, and remember what happened to Joseph, he became second highest in the kingdom of Egypt, helping the Pharaoh, and he was able to help his brothers who had sold him into slavery. You know, and so having a good attitude, actions follow your attitude, and so I pray that you'll have the right attitude. Not like Jonah, who had a bad attitude. You know, he said, Jonah, I want you to go. God said, Jonah, I want you to go to Nineveh, and I want you to preach. And that Jonah was upset that they all got saved and that they gave their heart to the Lord. And so anyway, that's a bad attitude. My attitude is either my best friend or my worst enemy. My attitude is either it can turn problems into blessings. It can turn problems into blessings. It depends on what your attitude is. In other words, you're saying God has allowed this to happen to me for a reason. And you know, I call on a lot of people in the hospital, and sometimes they have a good attitude about it. They said, you know, I don't know why I'm here, but God is going to work through this, and I'm so thankful that some people have that kind of an attitude. Attitude, finally, is always a choice. In other words, you can have the right attitude or you can have the wrong attitude. So I encourage you to have the right attitude, an attitude of gratitude. In other words, thanking the Lord for the things that He's done for us, the things that He's doing for us, and that we have the opportunity in this wonderful church to be a part of the blessings that this church has to so many people, and has been to so many people, and is to so many people. You know, and I think about the music that we had Sunday night, and we had a band they were a little bit loud. Some people left because they couldn't take that loudness. But every song that they played, and it was a brass predominantly, and they were a little loud, but and the Denver, the singer, he would just sing them, man. I love those songs. And I just sat through that whole concert. I loved every minute of it, because I'm going to tell you something. It's your attitude that makes all the blessings. That God will use you in a special way. I'm so thankful for our greeters, for our volunteers, people who volunteer their time and effort and money, and all of that stuff is volunteer. And we're so thankful for every one of you. And when I say God bless you and make you a blessing, let me tell you something. God is making some of you a wonderful blessing to so many people. God bless you today. Have a good attitude.